This is the inside of the Compass Casita 860. If I firstly move to the main control panel, I can turn the 12 volt on just here. Beside that, we then have entrance lights on and off. All the other lights can then be individually turned on and off on their own switches. And then the last switch up here just turns the awning light on and off. We then have the main controls for heating, hot water, etc. just here. So we have heating. So we can run the heating on mains electricity using either 3.3 amps, 6.5 or 13. So just dependent on the ampage of the site that you're on. Literally just pick. It will then turn the heating on and then control the temperature just here. If I now return back, you'll see the heating is on, and you'll now see on the little indication there, it will show how many volts you're currently using. If we don't have main supply, we can run on gas. And we can also just have the circulation fan on without any heat if it's a warm day. We then have night mode, so you just literally click this and it will drop the temperature down to a comfortable setting for sleeping. And we then have frost protection mode here, so as long as the heating is kind of active, as it were, if it drops below 8 degrees, it will then come on to avoid any frost damage. Next we have hot water. So we have eco just here, and then we have 3.3 amps on main supply. Again, we have frost protection mode just there, and then we have a boost as well. The boost time can be changed in the options menu, which I'll show you in a minute. So we can boost on main supply just there, or we can use gas. Water pump on and off just here. We need the water pump on to get water out of the taps and flush the toilet, and also fill the boiler if it's been drained down. We then have timer on and off. I'll show you how to do that in a moment when we go into the options menu. So we're now, everything is back off again. If we now hold this button down, you'll see that some of this is only for the workshop. So we have the installer part just here. So you cannot use any of those particular ones, but you can use the user ones just here. So we have room timer, literally plus and minus, pick what you would like to be using, and then just arrow across and then alter the time and the temperature, and you can do this for up to 3 times of the day. We then have water timer, and exactly the same again. Set your clock, and then the options menu just here. So if you know how many amps the main supply is, you can alter it just here to avoid tripping. This is where you can alter your water heater boost time, so you could have it so it literally goes on for 15, 30, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, or just boosts forever. How long this screen goes off when you're not touching it. The brightness of the screen. Key beeps on or off. You can have a flashing blue LED light on down there, but I find that very annoying, so I always have it turned off. And then we go back to the beginning again. If we now come to the bench seat just here and we remove the cushions, and we now lift up, we have the control boards for the Power Touch motor mover. We have the alarm box just here, back of the battery box just here. You'll then find down here that there is a 25 amp fuse just there, which is the main 12 volt one. If we now flap down the front, we then have the consumer unit just here. So we have all the individual MCBs along here, all labelled up. We then have the main RCD and the test button just there. So if something's not working on main supply, just come to see whether or not you've tripped. We then have the 12 volt fuses just there. Again, they're all numbered up and labelled up. So if something's not working on 12 volt, again, just come to see whether or not you've tripped. Under the other bench seat, we mainly have storage. Also underneath here, we have the intake for the heating. And you will also see that we also have a couple of gas isolation taps just here. Top one for the hot water, bottom one for the heating. They are in the on position and can stay like that. I always say if you smell gas in the van, go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. Here we have the boiler itself. All we really need to know about the boiler is how to drain it down for travel and winterization. It's all just done on this yellow lever here. So at the moment it's in the closed position. To drain it down, make sure the water pump is turned off and then twist like so. This will then drain all the water out of the boiler. I always suggest that when fully winterizing the caravan that you also open up all the taps as well. This will release any airlocks in the system and help in draining down. To refill, put back in the position just here, fill up the aqua roll, drop your submersible in, turn on the water pump, let it run for a few minutes, open up the taps. They'll cough, they'll splutter as they force all the air out of the system. Once they're running freely, close, and then the system will fully reprime itself. In the overhead locker just here, we have the solar panel regulator just here. So you'll see it's currently flashing green, letting us know that it's charging the leisure battery. When the leisure battery is fully charged, it will go to a solid green light. Next we have the television aerial. So we have the mast just here, and set back here we have the booster box. On and off on the side just here, and control the boost just here. You also need this aerial up for the radio as well. So to raise the mast, undo the collar and push up, and then twist it into the position that you require and then lock into place. Never over tighten these collars because you can split them. At the moment the aerial is sitting in the horizontal position. We can flip it to the vertical by turning the tail just here if you need to do additional tuning. For the radio, to turn it on, just press the button that says SRC. As you can see, this also has USB connectivity just here and USB plug-in point just there. To search for radio stations or change tracks, just literally press the arrow buttons. You can store radio stations on these numbers just here. If you need to get into its options menu, just press the volume button in and then rotate You can change all different bits in here. TV points just here. So we have 12 volt plug-in, satellite television and a main socket underneath. Microwave just here. As it says on the sticker just there, it's advisable to remove all contents for travel. This will work when you're hooked up to the main supply. We have like quick start just here and stop, power settings, etc. just there. The microwave is plugged in just up here. Beneath it we have the Dometic fridge freezer, on and off just here. Then we select our power source just here, so if we want to run a main supply, just highlight the picture of the 2-pin plug. If we don't have main supply, we can run on gas by highlighting the flame. These fridges will automatically light themselves. If it fails to light, it will start to beep and you will get a flashing red triangle just here. If you think it's failed because it might just be down to a bit of air in the system, just press the button just here and it will then attempt to light again. If I now put it onto this one here, which is 12 volt maintain for when we are towing it to keep the fridge cold on the move, it will currently beep at us because we're not hitched up with the engine running. Temperature control just here. Then we have the fridge and the freezer box just here. The freezer box can be removed if required. It just has a couple of clips underneath. Hob just here. We have the electric hot plate, which again will work on main supply. Operates just here. Everything else is gas, and it's just push in, twist and push the igniter. Beneath that we then have the grill. And again, just push in, twist and push the igniter. And then the oven beneath. Storage beneath the oven, and you will also find a plug plugged in just here, and that is for the electric hot plate. Again, storage just here. You will also find a gas isolation tap for the oven just there, and you will also find the inline water filter just there. Freestanding table just in here. And then we have the shower cubicle. Do make sure that the shower screen is secure for travel. If we now go across the way, we then come to the toilet. So we have the Thetford toilet just here. The bowl does swivel to open to the cassette. Just slide the grey lever across just here. We then have push to flush just here, and then we have level indicator just here. This will illuminate when the cassette needs emptying. We then have the basin just here. Storage above and storage beneath. We then have the fixed bed, storage beneath it. And then we have both wardrobes either side. More TV points just here.